Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the things that happened yesterday in the stock market because it was a little bit of a crazy day, to be fair. It started off pretty calm, not much was going on, and then just as the day went on, more and more kind of little stories started creeping out, and I was kind of only planning to do talking about GAN earnings today, but there was so many little stories that are coming out. I thought, let's just cover it all. There was so many little mini stories coming out of the stock market, so I thought let's just do a video on all of it and let's get cracking on it. So smash the like button if you can. If you are new around here, make sure you subscribe, and we'll take a look at some of the stories that came out of the stock market yesterday. Now, I am currently recording this at 7 a.m. on the Tuesday morning, so some things might have changed at the open, but pretty much this is kind of like where we're at with the stock market in general right now. And I'll start off with the UK stocks, because once again the UK stocks had another fantastic run. They were up once again. There was some vaccine news which helped a lot of these UK beating down value stocks once again, and yeah, we got a vaccine that is apparently now 94% effective against the coronavirus, so we just keep going up. The next one might be 96. So yeah, we got another vaccine which helped a lot of these UK stocks that are beaten down. And yeah, it was just crazy. Now National Express is up for me like 90%. Dark Group, which has earnings on Thursday, that's now up 80%. I've got other companies like 88 Casinos up 80%. JD Sports, always confused when you have two JD companies. JD Sports, that's now up 50%, and even companies like Greggs and Hollywood Ball still doing really fantastic as well. So yeah, my portfolio is looking very, very healthy, especially on the UK front right now, and I'm sure some of you guys have some really fantastic UK stocks just added into once again now, or gone up even more because of that vaccine news that we had yesterday. So yeah, on the UK stocks, we're absolutely killing it right now, which was absolutely amazing. And we also had some news about Tesla. So at last, Tesla got included to the SP500. At the moment of recording, the stock was up about 13% after hours, which was a nice little jump for the stock. It's currently been sleeping a little bit around that $400 and $500 range, so maybe this gives it the leg up to go higher now, which in fair isn't a bad thing because it's had such a crazy year. To just consolidate for a bit around here would be good for Tesla stock. So yeah, we'll see what exactly happens. It looks like it'll still stay in this kind of $400 range, so good news for Tesla that it now has the S&P 500 inclusion coming in. I'm personally still not buying at these top prices, but it is a great news if you are holding Tesla shares. So we'll see how much that affects the company and the stock over the next coming few days. We also had news that Airbnb is actually coming to the stock market. It's going to be doing an IPO. Now, we've heard about this rumor for a while. I actually did a video on Airbnb probably about 6 months ago now, talking about the potential of them coming to the stock market and what I kind of expect from them. And yeah, it looks like they are now eventually going to come to the stock market. They are filing for IPO, which is really good. So maybe we will see this towards the last last month really of this year. Maybe it'll be early next year, but yeah, it looks like Airbnb are looking to be on the stock market with an IPO, which is good to see, not a SPAC stock, because we've had so many of them. But yeah, it was kind of interesting that Airbnb came out and said they actually turned a profit last quarter, which is crazy because you compare how much they've been losing money because of the coronavirus, and to turn a profit last quarter is pretty impressive. Instead, revenue was still down 19%, but still, I think the big thing was a profit. Very, very good to manage to pull a profit when there's hardly any kind of holidays at the moment. Airbnb will come public on the stock market under the ticker ABNB. Like I say, we've got no set date just yet, but I do expect this to probably be in the kind of next 3 months. So we'll see what happens with Airbnb. Definitely one that I will be taking a look at and seeing if it's a good opportunity. If it's not a good opportunity, it'll still be going on my watch list. Next up was Lordstown Motors, and wow, what a run has this company been on. I didn't think it would have a run like this, but there's just a lot of investors coming back into it. And yeah, Lordstown Motors had a big jump. It went up about 25% on the day. And yeah, it came out with some news saying that it's got a lot of demand still. It's going to be hiring a lot of people now to help build its pickup truck, and the endurance is still on schedule for 2021, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, Lordstown said it had reached about 50,000 reservations for the vehicle. Now, obviously, they can still cancel there, but still, it's still a pretty good jump in orders. I think that puts us on about 2.5 billion in pre-orders, which I think last time was 1.5 billion. So we've got another billion jump in pre-orders. I think it's something like that. I think it's around that figure. So yeah, I think that's a nice, healthy, jumpy pre-orders. Obviously, not all of them might not go through with these pre-orders, but still a very good amount of pre-orders there. And it was good to hear that the endurance is still on target. So we are pretty much going to be seeing some first production models early 2021, and then we should see some actual production that is going to be sold in 2021, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think we're about 6 months away now from this stock really kicking off. Even though it's been on a good run, I mean, we're 6 months away from the stock where it starts going to a $30-$40 stock. So very, very interesting times for Lordstown ahead, and as a shareholder, great information to hear, especially when the company's been falling off a cliff like the last kind of couple of months as well. And the last one was GAN. So GAN reported earnings, and this was the video that I was supposed to do and just do a GAN video, but because of all that news, there you go. I spent about 5 minutes talking about some of the news, when some of the big stories that did come out yesterday. So GAN had its earnings. EPS was a bit of a miss, and I think that's what kind of took the headlines, and that's why the stock is currently down about 5% to 7% after hours. So I think the EPS was the standout thing that really sent the stock down. But overall, the revenue was really good. The revenue was a really good beat. We still grew 82% year over year, which is fantastic. You know, how many companies is doing that sort of revenue growth? Really, really impressive figures from GAN on the revenue side. And as a growth company, the thing we should really be focusing on is the revenue, not the EPS, because we want to see the company growing and kind of dominating this industry that's going to be massive over the next few years. Now, I'm going to say this company is a long-term hold. Like, this isn't a company that you're expecting something from in the next 6 to 12 months. This is a company that you're expecting something from probably not even in 2021, maybe towards the end of it, but 2022 is the big year. And it's all about now seeing how much it can develop and building up a good position in this one, because it has the potential to be a massive company. So that's the key thing I'm going to say here. Like, let's not get carried away. This company is still very early days, and we aren't expecting anything massive from this company for quite a while yet. We just want to see it develop and get the right building blocks in place for it to take on and dominate this sort of market and be competitive with the likes of DraftKings and everything like that. Now, I'll be honest, there was a couple of negatives in here. So the first negative was nothing to do with it as itself really, but the company had a very good run on the share price. The share price went up quite a bit going into earnings, which is never good. High expectations, bang, we go back down again. So we pretty much lost a week's worth of gains, which isn't awful, because we did have a good run, but that never helped the company when that was happening. And I said that in the Discord group. I said, I don't like this run, because it's one of those that is really hard when your expectations start rising on earnings, and you know, if you don't deliver and everything like that. So the run didn't really help. Expenses were the worst part of this earnings call. So expenses went from about 4 million last year to about 10 million this year. And this is pretty much the reason why the EPS is down. It's the reason why GAN hasn't turned a profit this year, is because the expenses have been going up so much. Now, on the conference call, there wasn't any big clear answers to like, we put 2 million into this, we put 2 million into this. There wasn't very much detail on it, and they were trying to keep very tight-lipped on what was coming out of the expenses. But it seems like what has happened is there's a couple of the IPO costs still in there. Also the rising staff, so they took more and more staff on. It seems like a lot of this is prepared for the Michigan launch, which we got some news on, which will probably be December. So yeah, we had the talk about maybe staff, a lot of staff coming on. It seems like leadership might have had a pay rise. That might be one of the things as well. And also, if we remember, GAN have brought in a lot of companies to help them develop as a company, and help improve them as a company, the visuals and everything like that, and how they come across as a company and create partnerships. So that's also been another expense. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things. But yeah, it was a bit of a jump, probably a bit more than what I wanted, and probably a bit more clarity would have been a bit better. But that was one of the negatives I did see. And the second one was the forecast. So GAN are probably the worst company I've ever invested in for giving like forecasting guidances. They just generally just don't do it. Like, people go on the conference call and they go, oh, what do you think of this? What are you going to do in the Q4? What are you going to do in Q1? And GAN are always like, oh, we don't know yet. And that's it. And I think that's why the stock price never really goes crazy, because GAN are always really tight-lipped on what they're thinking about guidance and forecast and everything. So yeah, we didn't get anything like that. Even Q4 was very conservative, and like I said, we've got no 2021 forecast. We have to wait to Q4 for that. And yeah, I mean, if GAN came out and said, look, we're going to be profitable next year, we're going to have another year of at least 50% revenue growth, the stock would have gone up 20%. And that's the thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait to Q4 to get some forecasts, but yeah, that's gang for you. Like, they're never going to, at the moment, the management just don't like giving big forecasts out, which I guess is kind of helped because then people don't get carried away with the company and it doesn't trade at ridiculous valuations, but still. So obviously positives were revenue. Revenue was really fantastic growth as well as user growth. And we got the Michigan launch coming up as well. We also had confirmation of 2021 new states that Gang are going to be looking to operate in, which will increase, you know, the revenue and everything like that in 2021. So everything like that as a starting to build into that long-term company is looking very, very healthy. And even going forward, 2022 and everything like that, the more states they're going to look into is going to be absolutely fantastic. We also got a little bit of detail on the Win partnership. Seems like everything's going very well on the Win partnership. And, you know, going into this earnings, we had another number of partnerships announced, which is fantastic for the company as well. And also probably the big standout with this was that Gang went and purchased Coolbet. And they purchased Coolbet for 149 million, and they're going to use this platform as a B2B and a B2C format, so it gives them another income where they're looking to go with this company. And we'll probably see that part, well, them develop the company a little bit more and give them another way to get into this kind of industry. And it also gives them another leg up in, because a lot of the revenue starts to come from the US now. Coolbet are a lot more bigger in like Europe, so that will help them on that side as well as an international company. And yeah, I think 149 million isn't a bad price when we consider how much revenue that Coolbet are currently putting in. Profit wise, Coolbet are currently break even. So yeah, I think Gang can make it work. It looks like a good purchase from them. It's going to be a cash and stock purchase, so maybe that's what moved it down a little bit as well, hearing that sort of news. But overall, it seems like a good purchase from Gang. So we'll see how that works it out, and like I say, probably add a bit more revenue into Gang for the next year as well. So yeah, it looks like a good purchase overall, and it'll be interesting to see how they develop that company over the next coming kind of couple of months and year as well. So yeah, overall Gang earnings, I would give him a 6 out of 10 just because of the expenses and the forecast. If that was a bit better, I could give it a lot higher, but overall not bad. Another building block to where this company can be very dominant in the next kind of, you know, year, 2 years, and hopefully we start seeing the results probably towards the back end of 2021. But still, at these top prices, gives me more time to buy more shares. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with everything. It's the perfect scenario really that I could have asked for from Gang. So overall, that's me talking about some of the news articles and earnings that came out yesterday. Like I say, a bit of a crazy day. So hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button. If you are new around here, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.